And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Certainly happy to have you along. Chase McLaughlin has it on the tee, and off we go here in Tampa. Powering his way forward. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Hurts throwing right away. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
On second down, here's the option. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a first down on the keeper. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back.
Hurts fumbles it, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. In motion left, Godwin. Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Now they go screen, it's complete. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's third down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
There's a short one taken in by Otten. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up fourth down.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep, Avery Williams. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Second and 7. Here's Hurts to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Hassan Reddick coming through with a stop there and a tackle for loss to boot.
Well, they sent the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing him for a loss.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Airing it out deep for Smith. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, 48 yards. And the Eagles are on the board first here on the road in Tampa. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Once again, it's Irving. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Now Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
Not much happening offensively here early on. That's 2 drives and 0 first downs. This defense, they've come to play, and they're the better of the 2 units here so far.
Riley Dixon now to punt it away. Fair catch taken right at the 10-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Antoine Winfield up from the secondary with a tackle.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held him to no gain.
2nd and 10. It's Barkley on the counter. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Hurts. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Going right back to Dodson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. From the 33, here's 2nd down and 1. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And this is going to be an Eagles 1st down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line. We often give credit to the O-line there. Two tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. That's caught by his tight end, Kylen Granson. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
Well, he has been the featured receiver on this drive. They've looked his way a number of times. Why not get it to him on 3rd down? And they do. And they're able to keep this drive moving.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Throwing is Hurts. And that's caught by the tight end, Granson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Back to throw again. This short throw caught by Goddard. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 23. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. And he didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Open man is Goddard, the tight end. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts fighting through pressure. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Back to throw here. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. That's caught at the 1. Touchdown! Jalen Hurts on target to Dallas Goedert. And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, down in this part of the field, CD, they love to get him the football. And right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone, and they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Throwing, Mayfield. A quick throw there is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw, Mayfield. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the 1st on the 35-yard stripe. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, he was looking at a dime formation, 6 defensive backs on the field, so he's looking for anyone to throw the football to, but he didn't have anyone open, so he took off and ran for it, but he came up just short, and that brings up 4th down.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. The Trey Palmer deep for Tampa Bay. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. From the 21, here's 2nd and 4. Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay. Well, just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there and in the process picks up the first down.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
A first down carry for Barkley. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They work now on 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The offense on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles take a 3-touchdown lead.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits were on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Mayfield looks to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
They'll try and run here with Irving. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
But it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. Mayfield. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. Evans comes in motion right. Here's Mayfield. There's a short one taken in by Otten. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now it's 3rd and 3. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. And Mayfield just getting the play off. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Well, you can absolutely feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3-and-out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving. He'll take this to the 46. They'll come up 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Irving. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. They'll start by running the option to the right. Hurts fumbles it. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route, and they just executed that one pretty well.
A handoff to Barkley on the option. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Here's Hurts to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 31-yard line. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Hurts. Goes right back to Smith again. This is 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Hurts. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles are able to add on to their first half lead. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. Elliott good on the extra point, and it is 28-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Here's 2nd and 10. Mayfield on play action. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. The Eagles going to take the 1st of their timeouts, and they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Trucks over him. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. So after a very one-sided first half, what will the second half bring as we are back underway on EA Sports? And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained.
maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They go play action. Mayfield. He'll find his rookie wideout from Ohio State here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. 71 yards. And the Bucs come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
That is caught. And he is going to have an Eagles first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 31-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Throwing is Hurts. And his throw here's incomplete.
Had to do a double take on that one, Brandon, because so far in this game, we haven't seen many of his passes fall incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that is incomplete.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen, but this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Only 3 points there, but I got to think at this point in the third quarter, that's all you're really looking for.
And right now the lead is 3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions. So you and I both know a huge order for the best of teams. And from what we've seen so far, hard to believe that that's a likely scenario. 3 two-point conversions? That's difficult.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Mayfield to throw it. Airing this one out for Evans. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. To throw, Mayfield. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Mayfield down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll run the draw with Irving. He stiff arms him. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Baker going to give it to Irving. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Bucky Irving, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs get a bit closer.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Todd Bowles leaving his offense on the field. They're going to go for 2 here. Mayfield going to try to throw for the 2. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Hurts going to keep it running left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
A handoff to Barkley on the option. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first.
Good protection there on 3rd down. This is just a simple flip to his tight end outside the numbers, and he's able to haul it in and pick up the first down.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. A first down carry here for Johnson. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Barkley, inside handoff. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
They'll look to throw here. Open man, he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab, and the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. That'll go for a gain of 7. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. A run up the middle with Irving. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given him, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
So both offenses come to life here in this 3rd quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They could definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37. And this offense on 3rd down today, can't fault these numbers, 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the 4th quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. They'll send Brown in motion right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Barkley. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, plus 3.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up,
You can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. Mayfield looks to throw. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. And he goes out right around the 39. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now Mayfield. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Jordan Davis able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. So here's a 3rd and 14. Throwing, Mayfield. Well, this one taken in by Otten. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a 1st as he's tackled at the 47.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Desperation time, Mayfield on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the 1st down. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Mayfield. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Zach Bond leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not, and I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out, and you and I, let's get to the airport.
Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 74 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
From the gun, Mayfield. Under pressure, they got him again. Jordan Davis dropping him for the 2nd straight play. Might want to think about blocking him here on 3rd down.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Up the middle with Barkley. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
But they certainly got dented with that first down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And really, it looked at times like they just had this one in cruise control out there.
Yeah, they deserve a ton of credit because you and I both know, heck, they knew. This is a tough place to play. Overcame that with ease, romped home with an easy win. And here's the best part for them. It'd be easy to get to the airport because the crowd left pretty early in this one, didn't they?
Well, plus they have a police escort.
Okay, you had to spoil that part of it. Of course, they're going to get there. But think about how wide open things are now because this crowd didn't expect this.
No.
So they went back to the tailgate and said, let's go eat. This one didn't any fun for us.
Yeah, they took the drama out of this one pretty early on. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.